Hello, Zipstrike Army. My name is Jacob Zowies, and I am your coach of the Green Bay Pikachus, and this is week number 3 of the NPCC, the National Pokemon Competitive Conference, where you're facing the New London Zoroarks and their coach, Uturn Crobat, aka pretty much our rival in draft format, because this is actually the third battle we've had versus Brad, and probably, how many Draft League games have we had total? 25, give or take, maybe? That many Draft League games, something around that nature. That's how many Draft League games we've had, and we faced Brad 3 times. We faced him a 4th time, at least this season, because he's in our division, so we faced him twice, actually. And you might be wondering, where's week number 2, Jacob? You just kind of skipped that. Well, we actually had that on Pokemon Showdown, and I can't find the battle because I didn't save it for whatever reason. I thought I did, but we actually ended up losing narrowly 1-0 to Bullet Punch Club, and their substitute coach, this is Rizzy Pow, filling in for the Aussie Gunner because he was actually moving to Australia. But we will be facing his team once again, and I'm kind of glad because that way I don't really get to reveal all my sets and stuff for him. But yeah, we face him again because he's also in our division. So this is the first of back-to-back division games that we have, or the second of back-to-back division games we've had. Anyways, we just played this on Tuesday, so that was 4 days ago. It's still fresh in my head though. I know exactly what happened. Wouldn't forget this game. Mine and Brad's games are usually pretty good. We lost once to him last season in NPCC, and then we actually beat him in the playoffs by the score of 3-2. I believe that was the score. We had 3 Pokemon left, he had 2, so therefore we won. Maybe it was 3-3, and our Pokemon's health were actually higher than his. So it wasn't an actual win, but it kind of was at the same time. But anyway, I'm not going to reveal all of my sets, because I actually have a different game plan. I'll reveal some of them, but I don't want to reveal everything that we have for him. But we brought a Selgor, Dalmice, Cobalion, Zapdos, Kyurem, and Alola Persian. We didn't bring Manaphy. We didn't bring Nidoqueen or Arcanine because others would have had to run Shuckleberry or Shutshell Nose because others they just get trapped by freaking Dugtrio too, and it's just really, really problematic to be honest. But Brad's team was as followed: Kyurem Black, Shaman, Tentacruel, Dugtrio, Azumarill, Mandibuzz, Magneton, Uxie, Gengar, Sawk, and Rhydon. His Z Pokemon are Dugtrio, Azumarill, and Kyurem Black. Ours are Manaphy, Alola Persian, and Cobalion. Really should have made the Arcanine, but that we can't change it anymore, so whatever. It doesn't really matter. But we're actually bringing a Shedshell Cobalion because of his Magneton and his Dugtrio, so we didn't want to get trapped. We wanted to be able to get our rocks up, kind of just like we are going to be doing in week number 2 of the PMC, which will be uploaded tomorrow, which we'll get to week number 3 in that video. I'm not going to talk about the PMC in this video because it's going to get really confusing. But anyway, we decided to bring Sub, Lefties, Toxic, Anchor Shot, and Rapid Spin Delmise in case he decided to, like, well, he can't Spike Stack us, but he does Toxic Spikes, and that can kind of be annoying. But then again, it really wouldn't have been too annoying if he brought Toxic Spikes, but I just in case he decided that go that route, and I needed some way to remove hazards because we're bringing 3 things weak to rocks, and I knew he was going to bring Stealth Rocks more than likely on Uxie because Uxie was his most reliable Stealth Rocker versus our team. So I definitely was anticipating rocks on Uxie for sure. So Delmice is there. Cobalion, like I said, Shedshell gets up rocks, vultures away. Sacred Sword can 2-shot Kyurem Black, and I think we had. Did we have Toxic? I don't remember our last move, honestly. We brought Scarf to Selgor because I figured he'd bring like a Scarf Gengar or a Scarf Dugtrio to try to trap our other Pokemon. And I just wanted to be able to just hit his team relatively hard, knock off items, because we have knockoff Uturn, Bug Buzz, and what was our final move on this thing? I honestly can't remember our final move. The team will be in the description down below. We'll physically, well, we have enough speed in Zapdos Speed Sock because that was our best switch into Sock. And we have Rocky Helmet to whittle it down. And we have Roost for longevity, Toxic to just be annoying, Thunderbolt, and Heat Wave. Heat Wave was for the Magneton so we could beat that 1v1. Kyurem is Sub, Ice Beam, Earth Power, and Roost. It actually did a number of his team. We could sub up on Tentacruel, Shaman, Mandibuzz, I believe. Yeah, Mandibuzz. Just annoying overall. And then we actually brought Dual Scarf as this team, Alola Persian, just because we needed something else to be Dougie again, just in case he didn't bring it, in case it comes down to it. It doesn't really necessarily, but just in case. Foul Play, Parting Shot, Thunderbolt, and Dark Pulse. There we go. That was my moveset, I believe. But we're just going to lead with Salvador because it was over our best lead. And we can just U-turn out if we need to. I'm just going to go for the knockoff on the Gengar right away. And he reveals Choice Scarf, which I knew instantly after we click knockoff, he can't kill us in any way, shape, or form unless he gets a crit. So that's really cool. And we're just going to switch out into our Persian just in case he wants to knock us out with another Shadow Ball. He easily could have went for Sludge Bomb, and that would have been really, really bad. And right here, as he goes into Azumarill, predicting a knockoff again, knowing we're Scarfed, right there, that should have told me that he was probably Z Belly Drum, but I guess I didn't realize it in the match, and that was really, really bad of me. I realized it later in the match, but not at that given moment. I should have realized it then, because why else would you switch an Azumarill in? That would have been really bad. He does miss player, not really too crucial. That would have helped us more than it would have hurt him, because we would have gotten Rocky Helmet residual damage, and that would have been really nice. But yeah, we're just going to go for our rocks, right? Or we're going to go for a taunt on the Uxie, because that way he doesn't, he's not able to go for Stealth Rock or set up screens or Thunder Wave us or do anything annoying. Now that just freely allows us to go for rocks. Doesn't matter if he goes in Dougie. Yeah, we'll reveal Shut Shell at that time, but we have no reason not to go for rocks. He didn't bring a Rapid Spinner, so his only, well, he had Mandibuzz and Tentacruel for being able to remove hazards, but we actually had that in check because Cobalion had Taunt, so we could taunt the Mandibuzz, and we have actually Dhelmise to basically just switch in the Tentacruel, which is nice. And he does hit his player off here, and it does over half, and he's not banded. That tells me he's not banded, so I'm just like, well, why would he switch into Salgar? Oh, he's got to be Normalium Z with Belly Drum, because that makes sense right there. It actually makes sense versus my team. But at the same time, it really doesn't, because think about it. We have a Kyurem that can take an Aqua Jet. We have Persian. If he's Belly Drum, we can take an Aqua Jet from +6. And Foul Play is going to be doing a hell of a lot of damage. So he's actually just getting whittled. Yeah, he'll go back up to full. But if we can just get some chip damage to maybe like 30%, we'll be able to knock it out with a Foul Play if he's at +6. And I feel like this is a safe switch in, because he's going to go for a nice move. Nope! We get frozen. And this is actually really integral in the match. Not too much, but to a degree. He's gonna. This is the hacks we get on him later. Well, this definitely made up for it. Like we get him yeah. Anyway, I'm not gonna talk. I can't really think right now. I'm just really tired. I've been at work like the last 3 days, long shift, and it's tiring for me, to say the least. But we're just trying to thaw right there so we can taunt the Uxie, but we don't. And he sets up his rocks, but that's okay because we have our Anchor, our Dhelmise, Clinton Dix, to remove hazards whenever we feel like, so I'm not really too worried. And I'm just going to go for a Substitute because I thought he would switch into Gengar here, so I did not want to go for a Rapid Spin allow, and then he gets to fire off a Shadow Ball on our team or a Sludge Bomb on our team, and that'd be really bad and really problematic, so I had to go for Sub there. And next up, I'm just going to go for an Anchor Shot, as he actually goes into his Kyurem, which, yeah, is not his win condition, the Azumarill is, but Anchor Shot is really nice just so we can trap it, and we should be able to do enough damage because it is Stab, technically, with Steel Worker, the ability. So we can trap it and 2-hit KO it from that range, which is great. Kyurem is just an overall big threat, and we can knock it out, and we're in great shape, to be honest. Yeah, he knocks out our Sub, but still, we eliminate one of the biggest threats of the entire game in Kyurem. Like, Kyurem, we didn't really have the greatest switch in the Kyurem. Yeah, we could have brought, like, Habanberry Kyurem. We could have brought Habanberry Kyurem for his Kyurem Black, if that makes any sense. But I didn't really want to go that route. But he goes into Shaman here, which is okay. Like, I'm so sorry I'm yawning. This is so unprofessional in a video like this. As he just fires off the Toxic, which shows that he is a support Shaman. As we're just going to Rapid Spin, I felt he might have tried to Air Slash us down, but now that he showed Toxic, I'm like, he probably doesn't have Air Slash. I was anticipating right now at this current moment, he's got Toxic, let's see, Leech Seed, Synthesis, and like Seed Flare of something or something of that nature. He would have been able to beat our Dhelmise 1v1, but regardless, I can freely just switch out right into our Cobalion, trying to thaw and or sacrifice our Cobalion as death fodder. I'm just like, there's really no point. Yeah, he's able to set up his light screen right here, but I'm just like, I want this thing to go down really bad at this point. Like, really, just like knock this thing out or thaw or do something useful. This Cobalion clearly is poorly trained. Like, this is my fault that we got froze. Like, this isn't Brad's fault or anything like that, but it's my fault. We should have trained Cobalion better. Should have, when you transferred it from us, it should have been better, but that's on us. Regardless, though, I'm just going to let him knock us out with an Earthquake. Yeah, I don't really care. We don't get to... I could have switched out to Zapdos, but on the off chance he like somehow predicts that and goes into his freaking... and goes for a Stone Edge. Or Zapdos takes unneeded damage, and it's terrible. I don't want that at all. I want to save switch in. Plus, Rocks are up, and that would have been horrible. As we do not have... Defog and Zapdos, we got Rapid Spin on Dhelmise, and I actually predicted the Gengar switch right here. I did not want him to go into Gengar, and I knew I needed to go for an Anchor Shot and knock out Gengar, because, like I said, Rocks are up. I don't have a sacrificial lamb in Cobalion anymore since I let it go down to Dugtrio. Yeah, I had to make that play. We had to be aggressive there, and he actually goes into Uxie right here, which I was thrilled about, because now we can trap this thing. We can poison this thing because we have Toxic, and we can actually kind of stall out these screen turns as well. I wanted to go for Anchor Shot right from the get-go, just in case he decided to switch out, but I guess, or just trying to rack up poison. So that's why I went for Anchor Shot first, rather than poisoning Uxie as well. But Dhelmise has already done its job. If it can just keep hazards off the field, poison this Uxie, I am more than A-okay with this Dhelmise going down. I mean, it knocked out his Kyurem Black and knocked out his Gengar after a Selgar whittled it down with knockoff. But still, I am fine with Dhelmise going down at this point. Like, it did what it needed to do for our team to win this game. Now, since we're just stalling out hazard or screen turns, like, this is great. Like, this exchange with Uxie could not have gone, or could not be going better than it is right now. And obviously, I already know the outcome of this exchange and this battle, for that matter. But I just wanted to be explaining my thought process as I'm going on. I really thought this Dhelmise was the optimal set to bring this game, because dual subs with Kyurem and Dhelmise is just super nice versus his team, because he doesn't have the best ways. Like, we can use Uxie as setup fodder. Like, he's trying to use Uxie to set up his win game and win condition in the end. However, like, I'm okay. I am more than okay with just letting Clinton Dix do what it wants to do and just like, let it go down. Obviously, I'm not going to switch out at this point because then Uxie's not trapped anymore. And Rocks aren't, like, I need to keep spamming Rapid Spin at this point. Like, I have to make sure Rocks are gone. This is the 100% correct play. And Rocks aren't going to be here because we still have a Selgor, which would have gone down to Rocks, and Zapdos, which would have been taking Hefty Rocks, and Kyurem, which would have been taking Rocks. Our 3 Stealth Rock Pokemon are still alive. So, I'm glad that we brought Anchor Shot, Toxin, and stuff. Not only be able to whittle Uxie down, just overall, I think that was the correct set to run. But now we can easily just go into our Selgor and click U-turn regardless. I know he's going to go down from this range. Yeah, it's an Uxie, yeah, it's bulky, but U-turn still, we have some attack investment, which is why we did as much damage to the Gengar earlier as we did. But yeah, I just wanted some. We didn't need any HP investment. Why would you run an HP investment in a Selgor set like that? That would just been kind of weird. But yeah, we're just going to the Persian. Just in case, I don't want to take a Seed Flare. Just in case we absolutely need this thing later down the road. I'm going to go for Parting Shot. Little behold, we didn't know that it didn't have any attacking moves as of yet. I saw Leech Seed and Toxic. I haven't seen anything else yet. So I'm just like, well, I don't really know what he's packing, and it's kind of difficult to know at this current moment, or this current juncture, or whatever you want to say. But I'm just kind of biding my own time with the Selgor, trying to whittle this Shaman down as much as I can. I'm just going to click Bug Buzz, and we're in great shape here. He goes for Tailwind, and I realized, well, his last move's Healing Wish now, and he legitimately brought 2 Pokemon that have 0 offensive moves, which I kind of thought was a little bit questionable, just because I thought the Taunt Cobalion or Taunt Alola Persian was fairly obvious to bring. I'm like, well, we have 2 really good Taunt Pokemon. I don't understand why they would, or why he would bring 2 Pokemon with no attacking moves, with no Mental Herb, by the way, because Uxie we taunted didn't have Mental Herb, and Shaman has leftovers, so clearly no Mental Herb. And the reason I go into Zapdos right here is to just whittle this thing down. Actually, that was the incorrect play. I, by far, should have went into our Kyurem because we probably realized that we weren't faster, seeing how much Bug Buzz did. That did like nothing, and we're max special attack as Selgor, and it's super effective. Bug Buzz is a pretty good base power move. We should have went into the Kyurem here, been able to get a sub. I wouldn't have been able to Leech Seed us or Poison us or anything like that because I figured we were faster because we have enough speed to outspeed any non-Scarf variant of Sock, and thus the Tailwind's up obviously, but you know, Sock by itself is what I'm saying. I'm not said Scarfed, but I really thought Sock was going to come. Yeah, we have a Nidoqueen and a Zapdos, but other than that, like Banded Sock just puts in the finest of work versus our team, to be honest. Just being able to hit knockoff or close combat, depending on like what he brings and what their strategy was. Like I think Banded Sock could have put in a really good number to our team. I was honestly contemplating Chople Berry on Kyurem just for that, but I'm like, nah, I want the power with Life Orb. But yeah, we're sub Life Orb, but we have Roost for longevity, so I'm not really worried about our Life Orb windling our HP down or anything like that. But regardless, we're in the Kyurem right now. We're in safely because we know its entire moveset. Yeah, he has not revealed Healing Wish, but I know for a fact this thing's going to be Healing Wish because right here I figured out it was the Belly Drum Azumarill. I'm just like, well, around this time, once he went for Tailwind before, I knew that he was a Z Belly Drum Azumarill. I'm just like, well, that makes sense. Screens make sense. Very good strategy, but I think they should have just had either a Mental Orb user or some kind of offensive pressure with. I think they should have run Seed Flare with Shaman, but because as you're gonna see, like Tailwind just hurts him more in the end than it helps him. And honestly, I predicted Healing Wish this turn, so I knew the correct play was to just go for the Roost. So I just want to make sure our health we're healthy and our HP stays as high as it can possibly be, because we know he's going to Azumarill at this point. But yeah, that definitely makes sense to heal Azumarill. But I knew I really wasn't afraid of Belly Drum because like even at +6, we can take this thing down. We can weaken this thing. I knew Earth Power was going to be doing about half, and he does miss the play rough right there, which is unfortunate. But at the same time, yeah, he would have broken our sub. We weren't able to fodder something off. But we have a Zapdos, and Tailwind would have petered out right after this turn. And Zapdos, at the range it's at, will be able to get Rocky Helmet damage on the Azumarill. So even if they would have broke the sub right there with the play rough, it really wouldn't have mattered all that much. Yeah, it wouldn't have mattered all that much at all because we would have sacrificed Zapdos at that point. Even if they went for Z Belly Drum, got back up to full, they would have been taking Rocky Helmet damage. And regardless, though, our Scarfed, we would have went in the Kyurem then, clicked Earth Power, whittled it down, and just won with Scarfed Foul Play from Persian. Yeah, it would have changed the match from a 3-0 to a 1-0 more than likely. But overall, like, it definitely makes up, like, him missing the play off right there made up for the freeze on Cobalion earlier, because we could have at least thawed, but we didn't. But regardless, Kyurem knocks its second knockout. No, it's not. This is going to be its second knockout of the match, Jacob. Come on now. Get with the program, dude. Get with the program, man. But yeah, it's going to knock out Azumarill. It could have clicked the Aqua Jet if it had it, but it wouldn't have knocked us out regardless, and we would have knocked Azumarill out with the Earth Power, Life Orb Earth Power, and that is the 3-0 victory in our favor. We defeat Brad, aka Uturn Crobat. Like I said, his links will be in the description down below for his Twitter and his YouTube, so make sure you check him out down below. He's a really good friend of mine, so I highly suggest checking him out. But anyway, that is the battle, ladies and gentlemen, Zubstrika Army. I hope you did enjoy the battle. If you did, please leave a like, rating, comment, and make sure to give constructive criticism down below in the comments. And like I said, if you're interested in the team we brought, it'll be down below in the description too. Like I said, well, I didn't say this already. It's not a competitive team. It's for Draft League specifically. So don't try testing it on like the RU ladder or the UU ladder. It's not going to have success more than likely because it's tailored to Brad's team specifically. That's why I like Draft League so much, because you just get to use creative sets pretty much every week, and I really love thinking of the most creative sets you possibly can run. But anyways, that is being said, my name is Jacob as always. Have a great day, and I love you all so very much. Adios, Substrike Army. Bye-bye.